high capacity 45s. This video is going to be focused on 3 of the major players. We're going to go to the range, we're going to shoot 20 rounds through each gun, and I'm going to talk about each one. We're going to look at the FN 45, recently purchased, and I tell you, it took a lot of practice for me to get this thing down right, and I still don't have it down right, but that's what this is all about, talking about each gun, because every gun is a fingerprint. Then we're going to shoot the Glock, the big Glock 21. Oh boy. The home for this Glock, by the way, is in this pouch. I'll show you here momentarily. And the home for my big giant guns like this is either in a pouch or in a shoulder holster, because they're a little large to put on your waistband, or of course you can't put them inside your waistband. So I like to carry them in a shoulder holster or in a pouch. Then we're going to talk about the Springfield XDM. We're going to shoot all 3 guns, 20 rounds each. I want your input. I know this creates a lot of controversy when I say FN versus Glock versus Springfield, but it's all cool. It's all great stuff here. We're all in this together. Welcome to weaponseducation.com. First gun we're going to shoot 20 rounds out of is the FN. This happens to be the competition model. I'll elaborate a little bit more on this after we look at the target. I will say that the serrations need to be a little bit more aggressive, and the rear sights need to be updated, in my opinion. But this is the first gun we're going to go shoot. Let's go shoot it. We'll talk about that when we get home. I feel like I was shooting a little to the left, but I don't like the rear sights on the FN, I'll say that now. Alright, we just shot the 45 FN downrange. I got an okay group there, but what I want to say is this. I just picked this gun up a week ago, so whenever I get a new gun, I go to the range and shoot it a lot. So it's already got like 300 rounds through it. I'm 4 days in a row at the range, and when I first got the FN, the very first couple of days, I was a little discouraged, and now today, I'm a little bit more back on balance and happier with it. Meaning that it really takes time. Every gun has its own personality and has its own fingerprint. I'm not a marksman, I've never claimed to be one, but imagine if this was someone's, heaven forbid, head, a human being, a bad guy, we're not going to miss. So the goal is to hit your target, hit center target. I was shooting to the left, but I want to talk more about the gun and recoil. The recoil on the FN is nil. If of all the 3, it's got the least recoil. I will say that. It's blocky. It's not as comfortable as the Springfield, and the serrations are not aggressive enough, in my opinion. I think the serrations should be more aggressive, because a couple times I got really sweaty over the past weekend, or the past week of shooting this gun, and I had to use a towel to pull it back because I just couldn't pull it back. It was too slippery. So the serrations on the FN is something that I think they need to improve on, and also the rear sights, which of course are exchangeable. You can change them out, but that's the FN here. Now everyone throw in your input as to which gun you like the best. let's right now go take a look at a Glock 21 downrange shooting 20 rounds. Don't look yet. Okay, let's go look at the Glock. Okay, we're looking at a Glock 21. I'll shoot for the top left this time. See how the Glock 21 does. What I'm really trying to do is focus on the recoil and just the overall feel of the gun. Talk about this when we get home. Let me put 10 more rounds in that baby. The top left, you can see I shot the Glock 21, and I gotta say the trigger on the Glock is nice. It's not as nice as the FN. I didn't mention that about the FN. The FN really has a nice trigger, but the Glock just has the overall fit and finish that you want in an all-around gun. For the money, the Glock really does work very well. We're going to talk more about the laser in the future on the Glock. I threw the light on there for now. I keep the Glock, like I said earlier, in a pouch, and all these big monster high capacity 45s in either a pouch or a shoulder holster. But there you can see a little group. It's whatever it is. But I do like the Glock, and I want your opinions on, would you get the FN, would you get the Glock, or would you get the Springfield? I'll give you my end-all answer at the end. Let's go to the next one. Let's go look at this Springfield at the range. Let's see how the Springfield XDM feels. Recoil. I'm going to show you on the left. I'll put 10 more rounds in it, and then we'll talk about it at home. All right, there we go, 60 rounds of 45 ACP. We'll go discuss it. There goes 20 rounds down range of the Springfield 4.5-inch ACP XDM. You gotta love the XDM. It's got the match grade barrel trigger and all the other goodies. Ergonomics on this gun is spectacular. I've been shooting this gun for the past week the best overall. I've been comparing this, comparing this to the FN a lot in particular, and I shot, not in this particular video, but I really been shooting the XDM the best over the last 3 days, but that doesn't mean anything. It's all about you and your individual fingerprint and what you like best about firearms and guns and what feels best in your hand. The point to this video is you really got to practice, because I went back to the Glock 21 and I haven't shot it in so long, and it kind of felt like, oh, this is a whole new learning lesson. And the FN, of course, that took me, gosh, 400 rounds to get used to. And the Springfield XD, I shoot more often, so I'm more comfortable with it. I think of all three, let's just take a look at me now, let's discuss it. All right, let's talk about all three and just generalities. The goal for this video is to give you some insight on high capacity 45s. We'll start with the FN. A couple of tweaks I would tell FN about this gun is to have more aggressive serrations, specifically on the slide and the sights on the rear, which are interchangeable. I have to change. This took a lot of practice to get used to. I thought because it's a competition gun, I would go like hit holes through holes through holes. It didn't work that way. It took a lot of practice with this gun to even get a fist type of group together. So that surprised me a little bit. We'll talk about this gun more in the future. The Glock, of course, is a Glock, and I like the laser on it. The Crimson Trace laser is just really cool because we're going to do a future video all about not looking at your sights and letting the laser do the work, but I didn't use the laser on the video when I shot. I was looking at the sights, but that's two separate frame of thoughts right there. You have to think about that. Do you want to put a laser on your Glock? And I would say yes for personal self-defense. We'll talk about that more in the future. I love the Glock. I really like everything about it. It's super reliable. By the way, of all the guns I shot in the past week, these three in particular, probably like 600-700 rounds between the three, zero malfunctions. Zero. Modern day guns, they just don't malfunction all that much. And if they do, and you have a lemon, the manufacturers will take care of it. It's so rare, it's not even worth talking about. These guns shoot and shoot and shoot. The Glock especially, it's not going to fail for you. All right, now, the Springfield, okay? As far as aesthetics, I doubt that anyone can say that either of the other two guns are better looking, aesthetically. This is a beautiful gun. It's built to fit your hand. It has a lot of safety measures built into it. It's got incredible serrations. It's just an incredible gun. Between the three, and I'm not trying to start controversy, I gotta say the Springfield XDM to me is my personal favorite. Yeah, you know I have a lot of Glocks, like 20, 25. And I have two FNs, and my next purchase will be the 3.3-inch Springfield 45 ACP. I really like Springfield a lot, but it's up to you. It's up to you. I hope you enjoyed the range video. It's hard for me to get someone to come record me. I want to thank my friend Guy. That's his name. His name is Guy, and he'll be doing some more videos with me in the future. He lives in Boca Raton. He's a student at FAU. Thank you, Guy, for being behind the camera. And thank you for subscribing and watching the channel. We're all in this together.